1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon.
To say has done pretty well, although that result the other day doesn't help him. Do you think he'll be given the job, the permanent job of manager at Man United?
You must. You have to stop getting in my head, because that was the next question I was going to ask.
This is what happens when people get to know each other's way of thinking, and all the stuff, all our vibes coming across the ether and the cyberspace. We're reading each other's minds.
We are. I was just building up to say, well, Carrick, with the result, do we think he's going? But anyway, let me answer your question, because you've asked it. I kind of feared for him, because these decision makers, who's never been on the football pitch, they don't know how it works on a football pitch. They're going to sit there in the office and think, well, the original plan was he's the interim manager, and so we still need a manager, because there's something about somebody coming from the lower class to then occupy an upper class status with Carrick.
Within a club, do you mean? Within the club itself?
Yeah, within the club itself, because he's been a player. He's never been involved in any decision making at the top level of the club. But having said that, I do admire Manchester United's loyalty kind of scheme or program or whatever they do at the club, where they think, well, you've served the club, now come, let's give you a bigger responsibility. Let's put you in a much more elevated capacity to, do what along the line. And I'm talking about the former manager. What's his name? Saul. What's it? Saul.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
That's it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
To name but three of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought that was good, but I'm afraid they might still have to revert back to the old, maybe as a way of putting pressure on him, or just as a way of saying, well, we're still Manchester United. We want somebody that has a name in the game, has a name because Carrick is not like Ronaldo, is it? It's not. He wasn't that popular in the club, even when he was a player. You had to go through a list of players to get to Carrick, and I admire his humility, but his work is speaking for him. So I would support him, but with the management. So I don't know what you think.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Again, we're sort of trying to go into the future and decide or make an opinion as to what's going to happen. My gut feeling is he won't get the job. If you go back a few weeks, when he sort of was winning most of the games, if not all of them at one point.
Yeah.
And I remember watching Roy Keane after a few games, which he won every time. And he was asked the same question, and he said, no, I don't think they should give him the job. And he went through a number of reasons, nothing personal against Michael Carrick. Indeed, Roy Keane praised him, but he said, I think something you just touched on, he said, I think they should go for a bigger name with an established CV in a serious league, around one of the serious leagues, perhaps in Europe. So, I and now, because he's had one or two defeats and less than great performances, but we should still remember overall, he has given them what you call a manager's bump by being there, and they've responded to him in a way that they've perhaps forgotten how to do to dRem. Again, I think he was a good.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
He was a good manager, and I think he's done well elsewhere, and he will do well. But somehow it doesn't always gel in certain situations. and it didn't seem to do that with him because the players almost came out of their shells when Carrick arrived there. Perhaps partly because he was a player from the past, so he knows the setup, he knows the gravity of the stadium, the crowd, the size of the club. He's got all that. And although a lot of the players there probably wouldn't have been playing when he was there, they still know he had any ex-player of a big club is going to be a bit of a legend, aren't they? And so I think they responded to him and so on. I think, again, it's very difficult to read him. There you can see a lot of managers on the touchlines during games, like Oliver Glasner, Pep Guardiola, and they're going a bit mad, fingers pointing everywhere and shouting, whistling at their players to get their attention. And you see a very visible passion, which is good. Then you get others like Nuno at West Ham, who I think is a very good manager, but he will stand there, and even when they scored one or more of their 4 goals last Friday, you think, well, cheer up, mate. Things are getting better, and it's nothing against him, and they say that. But some people's faces don't always reflect what's inside. I mean, you can only, and then, to be fair, when they did score, he does run up to his coaches, and they all hug and quite clearly are very overjoyed. So he does demonstrate that passion, but his I was going to say his resting bitch face. That's a horrible expression, but I don't mean it like that at all. But his poker face, his normal face, is actually a bit sad, and I think it probably is true of all of us at different times. If you took a snapshot of us when we're thinking seriously about something, we'd look a bit miserable, perhaps. But anyway, he doesn't always demonstrate what some of the other managers do. And to come to Carrick, I can't quite read what I think in that department. Is he someone who has a go at the players if they're not doing well at half time? Does he sort of bully them a bit? Sometimes maybe a manager's got to do that. Or is his temperament a bit too placid? That's the other possibility there. And I think that matters. All managers have different ways of doing it. But I feel if I were a fan, I mean, I like Manchester United. I always have done. One of my brothers, Jeff, he's always, since we were kids, been a Manchester United fan, as a lot of people are around the country. They come from all over the place. So I've always liked them. And I just feel, obviously, Ferguson was the man. Anyone, even now, trying to follow what he achieved has got an impossible job, haven't they?
It's what it is. Right, so this is all we've got time for on the first segment of the football referee with the football referee. Join us as we transition into the second segment of the football referee with myself, Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cos.
And me, Trevor Gear, and he calls me Bro.
So it's a goodbye from me.
Yeah, goodbye from me too.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.